WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
And good afternoon, and we are having a special edition today for everyone that has served and everyone that is serving for Veterans Day. My name is Darwin Griffin, and I'll be your host today, and I've got a very special guest. Her name is Jackie Johnson, and what Jackie is going to talk about is about a opportunity that she wants to talk to you about regarding veterans that may be a little bit down on their luck or might be underserved, or veterans that may need a little bit of help. They're not looking for a handout, they're looking for a hand up. And what she's doing is she's trying to go and talk to people to let veterans, know that there are resources for you, that if you are having some, difficulty getting back orientated back into society, that's what she is going to offer you, some suggestions as well as offer you some encouragement to give you an opportunity to realize, hey, there's a lot of people out here that want to recognize the duty, the service, the valor, the bravery that you gave during the time that you were serving or the time that you have served in the armed forces. So just before we get started, I just wanted to say real quick that just a little salute that I had written for veterans in memory of some of the veterans that have served. Valiant men and women, young and old, they fought for our freedoms in the blazing heat and bitter cold, fighting for our civil liberties and our civil rights, fighting and protecting us all through long days and darkest of nights. Humble soldiers died, whose names we did and those we never knew. Through it all, they fought and they served under the red, white, and blue. We want to let everybody know that here at WHPR that we recognize too that all of the dedication, the blood, the sweat, and the tears that a lot of veterans served our country wisely, bravely, and valiantly, that we want to let you know that we will forever recognize your service as a veteran, both men and women. So again, this is our special salute to veterans on Veterans Day. But today I've got a special guest today, and this is for all the veterans, for Michelle Cunningham's father who served, for my father who served, for other fathers and other mothers who have served, for those that are interested in serving our country, to make certain that the freedoms that we have today are still being recognized and honored tomorrow. And dedicated individuals such as my special guest and others that she is in contact with are continuing to do that very bravely, very valiantly, and with no regret, with no remorse. My special guest today, I'm very thankful that she's come on the show. I want to give an extra special thanks to Mr. Henry Tyler, who asked me to have the privilege to be able to go and speak to my special guest today and get her story, get her testimony, and get what it is that she wants to do to try and give back to the community. Jackie Johnson, thank you for coming on the show with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Tell a little bit about tell your testimony, tell your story. What really brings you into the studio today?
Homeless veteran women is a very serious problem, and it's going to get worse. What got me started was my niece came home from Afghanistan after serving her time there, and she came home with her baby, and she came home to homelessness, and it broke my heart because I feel like they go over there and they serve our country. They're living in countries that they know nothing about, strange places, things they have to deal with, and mentally it causes problems. So they shouldn't have to come home, I feel, to homelessness, to not being able to get the medical care that they need. And so I've been working with Pastor Overman, who runs who churches the Burning Bush in Inkster, and she
Because
has
she's got a program called, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's called Operation Refuge.
right.
Okay.
And she has she told me that she has the resources for them, some resources and information. And but the problem is it's getting it out there. They don't know. Just because they're veterans, they're not given all the time. They're not given, okay, you can do this and you can do this and you can have this and you can do that. They don't know the avenues to take. They don't know how to find the resources. So that's what I'm here for, to try to get the word out and try to get help for them. I just went out to the car from the house to get something out the car. And I'm like, I'm cold out here, it's freezing. I'm like, can you imagine? Just picture these women and their children living on the streets or in their vehicles. It's horrible.
And then also, too, they've got families.
Right.
That in some cases, they may be having a young one that they're also living in their car in the cold, in the bitter cold. Because I was talking to somebody today that was saying that they look at the Farmer's Almanac. And when they look at the almanac, it gives a lot of predictions about the weather and climate and things like that. And what they're saying, not to scare anybody, but they're saying this is going to be a very, very bitter cold.
Yes, that's what I
this year.
heard. And that's why I came back to Detroit. I'm from Detroit, but I've been living in Las Vegas the last 4 years. And I was helping the homeless there. We would get backpacks and put things in essentials that they needed. And so, like I said, when my niece came home, that touched me. And I was like, I'm going home to Detroit because it's cold there. And we got to get these women off the street. And so that's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm trying to do. I have a GoFundMe up that's on my page, Jacqueline D. Johnson. Most of you know me as Miss B from my Miss Butterfly's Creations. And what I'm looking for is donations to get a house up. I want to get houses up so that I can get these women into these houses off the street. And then with the Veterans Administration I talked to and the Veterans Affairs, they said that, once I get these houses going, they got the women. They can get them in. He said, well, we wish we had one of you in every state. I'm like, I'm trying to do that. That's my goal. But I need donations to get these houses going. We have so many houses in Detroit that's just sitting there empty. And I want to find out how I can get to those houses, people that own them or whatever, and be able to utilize them.
So primarily then, if somebody has a home that they would like to donate to you and to your organization, give that information again as to give your information as to how, if they, or phone number or contact information that they can contact you to let you know that they would like to donate a home, or they'd like to let you know of someone that could donate a home to you.
Okay, well, all of my information I put forward onto my GoFundMe page. My name is Jacqueline D. Johnson on there on Facebook, and Jacqueline Johnson, and Miss B's Creations. But I have a GoFundMe, and I have the link, and that I'm asking for donations, so I can go and get these houses. I found some, but I just don't have the money. I have people donating beds and essentials and things that they need at their homes. I have no homes. And so that's what I'm asking for. Landlords who just have homes sitting there doing anything. Let us use them. We can use them. I'm here, I want to speak for the people, veterans, not just, talking about homeless veteran women, but also homeless people, period. It's terrible that they have to live in these situations, and I hear people saying, oh, they want to be out there. No, I don't think nobody wants to be out there in the cold and the elements. I don't think they chose that. Some people feel they don't have a way out.
And so now the thing is that we want to kind of dispel a few myths that people may have.
Right.
Because even if a person comes home after serving in the military, even if their credit is not all up to par, there's still services through the Veterans Administration, through talking what you were talking to Pastor Overman and to others, that just because you may have some credit missteps, it still doesn't mean that they still will not help you. They will help you.
Exactly. Pastor Overman told me to tell the people that there's, like I said, there's resources out there, and that they can. They don't have to. A lot of veterans are scared. Women are scared if they're in the cars with their children or homeless with their children. They worry about CPS coming and take their children. Well, she promised you that won't happen. They don't take your children if you're homeless, so don't be in fear of that. And she has the, like I said, the resources. And if you call her, if you call me, I'll leave you the numbers, and we will get you in touch with those resources.
Yeah, because there's another organization. It's called Rebirth. And Rebirth, if you're looking for housing and supportive services, and if you're a domestic violence survivor or you're a female veteran, you can go on their site. Their site is Rebirth. So it's REBIRTHANPO @gmail.com. Again, that's REBIRTHANPO @gmail.com. And they can assist individuals that may be domestic violence survivors or female veterans. And what they do is they assist with trying to find housing and also supportive services for women and their children. So talk a little bit in terms of, say, let's kind of go into a little bit more detail. So now you're trying to help individuals in the metropolitan Detroit area, correct?
Right, correct.
And so now primarily then, from what Pastor Overman was saying, they could also assist because there's also, you can contact Veteran Affairs in Washtenaw County, and they can assist with trying to find places in the Washtenaw County area,
Okay.
the Ann Arbors, the Ypsilantis. But then also, too, we were on the phone with one of the commissioners, Commissioner Tim Killeen, who also was assisting in trying to give some information. He's a Wayne County Commissioner with some valuable information.
Yes.
So what you can also do, too, is you can contact your Wayne County Commissioner to get more information, because they have commissioners that are specially working with individuals that are veterans, as well as there are also state representatives and state senators that also do pretty much the same thing with helping veterans to get back on their feet.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to reach those individuals, because I'm at a standstill, like I said, getting the houses for them. I've done all I can do. I've done it all myself, and I've gotten as far as I can go, and I need help. And I'm appealing to the people. I'm pulling at your heartstrings. If everybody gave $5, just looking at this or reading my GoFundMe page, do you know how many women we can get off the street, how many children we can get off the street, how many houses we can get going? Use me, Miss B. I'm here for that. That's what I'm here for.
Well, Jackie, it's really sad because a lot of times I know I'll ride down the street and I'll look, and especially when I come off the expressway, and here I see somebody holding a sign up to say, please help. Any donation would be helpful. And it's sad because sometimes I see people in wheelchairs.
Yes.
They may have limbs that may be missing. And then they're showing a little poster that's got them in uniform when they did serve. And it tears at me when I see that.
Right.
And then at the same time, too, they're just asking for a hand up. And, and a lot of times it's interesting, too, because I see them sometimes with a little four-legged friend, right there along with them, that it shouldn't have to go, because I've gone and given somebody food, not just for their dog, because it was interesting because I had some things that I had a dog, and I had a dog that I was giving some food, bringing some food home to, and I went and gave them some money, but I also gave the dog,
Right.
some food. So, and that dog is like a companion, to a lot of people, not just veterans, but also to others that may be in need. So I guess the thing is you're saying really is that we should always make sure that we put a blessing out, because you never know when you may get a blessing to come back.
Right.
And the blessing that a lot of our brave military individuals did really kind of shows they a lot of times went in the face of fear and stared it right down their throats,
Right.
and made certain that they not only protected themselves, protected the other individuals that may be in the service along with them, but they protected our freedoms, you know, at
Exactly.
the same time in all the different wars that people fought in, you know, be it through the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, or the Coast Guard, you know. And I mean, there's so many people that have done so much, and then people are still doing a lot, you know,
Exactly.
because they go
That's
to
so true.
countries, people that served in Vietnam, people that served in the Desert Storm. I mean, the list goes on and on. So we need to make certain that we recognize our veterans. But now, did you serve in the military?
No, I didn't serve, but I have family members. My dad did, and like I said, my niece. And it's just, to even want to do that, to go and put yourself in a situation that you know nothing about, and protect your country is something special. We recognize them on Memorial Day and Veterans Day, but I feel that we should be appreciating them every day. They would go over there. They're doing it every day.
You know, and that's a very good point that you bring up, Jackie, that's something that should be recognized every single day.
Yes.
Because people got drafted. I mean, I know when I was in college, they had the draft going on.
Right.
We were kind of waiting to see what our number was based on our birthdays. And I was fortunate that February 25th was not one of the first days that they called when they did the little lottery to pick the dates for people to get drafted. But for those that did, serve, I know I had a roommate in college that was number 7. And they called him up real quick, and he served. But the thing is just that there's a lot of people that, pledged their service, that volunteered and went into the service. My father, he served in the military in World War II. And I know that's one of the things that he did because he was stationed over in Japan. And it used to be funny when he would come back and tell me some of the things that happened. I mean, you get a lot of stories, from
Right,
veterans,
and they're interesting.
as to what they had and what they encountered and people they encountered, and folks that they met. But at the same time, too, that was one of the things that we did when it came down to reparations, because reparations were for individuals, the Jewish population, that may have lost lives during a skirmish, during a war. And, and that was something that was paid to them based on people being in internment camps. And so we have to recognize, too, a lot of people like former Senator John McCain, who served valiantly in the service. And the same thing, that spent time in a POW camp. But then there's a lot of others that did not make it back that we have to
Right.
really kind of go and give tribute, to them as
Exactly.
well. So, again, with what you're trying to do, you're trying to get the homes for individuals. And as you're saying, too,
Right.
you're not necessarily looking for people to fix the homes up because you have the resources to be able to fix the homes up. You're just asking people if they have homes, because there's a lot of homes through the land bank that a lot of times people can get and acquire homes, but in some cases, to be eligible for those homes through the land bank, you have to have a nonprofit. It's easier to get them through
Exactly.
having a
And that's what I'm
nonprofit.
working on now.
And that's what you're in the
Right.
process of
Exactly.
waiting to get your nonprofit status.
Looking for a sponsor because it takes 3 months for the paperwork and everything to go through. So before then, they want me to get a sponsor. So that's what I'm looking for now.
Okay. And see, that's something, too, that if you are a person that could sponsor Jackie and her organization,
Looking for it. I'm here.
you could then be a fiduciary
Right.
and have that individual. So if there are nonprofits out here that may be looking to find a valued cause, because pretty much most everybody has had somebody that has served in the military. Our fathers, our grandfathers, our mothers, our grandmothers,
And we
aunts,
know
uncles.
someone.
We know somebody. And when you're looking in terms of, say, at people when they come home, there's a lot of situations that are occurring with veterans where some may be, there was Agent Orange in the past that could have affected someone's mental stability, having been exposed to those kind of chemicals
Correct.
that were used for defoliants to clear out the land and clear out the vegetation, where the fighters, were serving at. And then at the same time, too, you have some that go through PTSD,
Exactly.
where there may be some stresses that they may have, as a result of being trained to do what they do, in the military. So again, the stresses could be things that could, be things that could affect an individual once they do come out of the service. So again, if you have a home, if you have the need to want to go and let that home not just sit dormant, people that will go and actually live in these homes, take great care of these homes.
Yes, I do.
And will go and treat the home like it's a home, not like it's a house.
Right.
Not some place that it would be where they would be moving from place to place to place, but treat this home as their own home. And their family would treat it the same way. So there's a lot of women out here and men, but a lot of women, maybe because I know I was feeding the homeless years ago, and when I was feeding the homeless and the less fortunate, women used to pull up in their vans. And when they would open up the sliding door on their van, you could see changes of clothes hung up
Right.
all inside the van.
So you knew they were living in there.
Right. So just imagine the conditions, as you're saying, about veterans that may be home and then they may be needing, someone to kind of help them and maybe living, like you said, out of their home. And then the sad part, as you said too, you in Vegas. Vegas doesn't see the snow.
Right.
They see the cold like what we see back here.
That's why I had to come home.
So when you came home, you said, I want to help
Right.
those that might
I'm going
not
to
be.
help.
and that's what you're in the process of doing.
Right.
So through your organization, through the volunteers that you have that can help to refurbish these homes, please give your contact information one more time. Give your GoFund, page information so that people can go and they can realize, hey, and then also too, if there are other groups out here that do as what you do, you could partner up with them.
looking to do
Because
that
there's strength in numbers.
right, and it's so much out, so many homeless out here, and there's so many homes, and people who have those resources or know how we can get in touch with that, please get in touch with us. That's what we're looking for. It's like I said, it's cold and winter is vastly approaching. Winter in Detroit is horrible to me. But so I want to help these women, and we want to get them off the streets. So you can contact me, Jacqueline Johnson or Jacqueline D. Johnson on Facebook. My GoFundMe is, the link is https:// you know what that is, www.gofundme.com/f/veterans dash, what is it, helping dash veterans dash women dash. So
Okay.
and so that's on there. If you hit the link, that it will come up. I'm not sure if that's correct. I'll have to get it, make sure I get it correctly. And you can also find it on my YouTube page, which is under my name, Jacqueline Johnson, and it's under the title Homes for Homeless Veteran Women.
Homes for homeless
Veteran women. Yes.
Okay. And is there anything else before we wrap up? We've got a few minutes left. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell the public, or just some words of encouragement that you'd like to give to some of the individuals that may be less fortunate and may be looking for someone to give them some assistance?
Well, we all have a heart, and we all want to do, and we mean to do some. We just sometimes we can't. So the saying is, out of sight, out of mind. You can ride down the street and see them in their cars and on the streets and everything, and then when you pass by, it's gone. The memory's gone until you see it again. So I'm here to bring awareness to it so that we can see it and do something about it. Want to do something about it, and I'm giving you the avenue to help. That's what I'm
So-
offering.
So primarily then, contact your Veterans Affairs, contact your Veterans Administration, contact Michigan Rehabilitation Services.
Exactly.
As well as contact your state representative, your state senator, your congressperson, as well as
councilman.
contact your commissioners
Right.
in the respective counties that you may live in, as well, through Wayne County, Oakland, Macomb, Washtenaw, and contact one of them, at the
Yeah,
same
exactly.
time.
And I would like to leave you my phone number too. My business number is 702-845-3448. And that line is just for this cause.
Just dedicated just for those calls.
Right.
So if somebody's in need, and now you also said that there's also some resources, because that's one of the great things that I think that Pastor Overman, in terms of, say, with her organization, with Operation Refuge, that they have a pantry in Inkster that people can go and get food items and other items at the
Exactly.
same time.
Located on Inkster Road, I think she said in Carlisle.
Right, on Carlisle, right there by Inkster Road.
Right.
Correct. But there's others that may have abilities to be able to grant things. So that's the key thing.
Yes, and they can get in touch with me too, and I can, refer some of the people that come to me.
Okay, great, great. Okay, well then, this has been a great half an hour to spend with you.
Thank you. Yes, I've
to
enjoyed
give you
it.
an opportunity to kind of go and disseminate, some information. So I'm a keep pushing that in terms of sake, because we really want to ask people, we want to touch your heartstrings. We want to let people know that this is heart's work. This is Jackie's heart's work in her
Yes.
heart. And
I'm
anybody's heart work is not hard work.
Right.
Because I can see and sense the passion that you have for what you're doing and what you're trying to do and what you've done. And so now it's just a matter of finding like-minded individuals
Exactly.
that want to do the same as you, that have the same, things pulling at their heartstrings to help somebody.
Right.
Because of, like you said, the cold, the winter getting ready to come up. And it's hard for me to even imagine living in my vehicle,
Right.
day in and day out. I mean, just like people talk about, not having water, where we have people that, water is a basic necessity. And how can you live day to day without having those things?
Right.
Having water in a household, having the heat. Children have to go to school, and you would not want them to have that opportunity to be able to go and bathe or to wash up, before they go to school. And then at the same time, too, you also want to make certain, too, that people get the opportunity to have a roof over their head and not have to worry about the elements
Exactly.
keeping them from being warm.
Right.
Jackie, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today.
It's been a pleasure being here.
Give that contact information one more time, because we want to really get people to follow. Give your phone number again, give your contact information, and give that GoFundMe page again.
Okay, my name is, like I said, Jacqueline Johnson. My page is on Facebook under that name, or Jacqueline D. Johnson, either one, or Miss Butterfly's Creations. And I'm going to spell that because it's not spelled like you would think.
Well, people are changing it. They're putting S's.
Right, because I
change the
try to,
S's for Z's
get it under, what you call it, not pat, whatever, register it.
Okay.
And they kept kicking back. No, somebody's got that name. So I said, I don't want to change my name. I've been using it since the 80s. So I just changed everywhere you see a S, there's a Z. Miss Butterfly's Creation.
That's
So I
easy to
changed it.
remember.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a little easier.
Okay.
Because if you Google me, if you just Google Miss Butterfly's Creations with the normal letters, it's going to pull up another lady. And she does some of the same things I do as far as my crafts and my cups that I do, tumblers, which
Well,
I'm
give
going
that-
to be.
give
Oh
that
yes.
information real quick. Give that
Okay.
information real quick.
Okay. So the GoFundMe, like I said, www.gofundme.com /F/ helping veterans women matter too.
And give your contact number again.
And contact number is 702-845-3448.
And this has been a special edition. I want to thank Mr. Henry Tyler, and I want to thank everybody here at WHPR, from R.J. Watkins. I want to thank Patrick, Michelle, Renee, for all making this day possible. And again, this is a special edition. I'm normally your host on Expose Under the Sun. normally on Tuesdays from 2:30 to 3 o'clock, but this was a special opportunity because it's Veterans Day. And make sure that you go out and you let a veteran know how much you appreciate their service, their dedication, their bravery, and their strength. Thank you, and have a good rest of the afternoon.